loading snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage and Jokes and Center in the building, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we are joined right now, special guest TJ Sterling. Everything all right over there, TJ?
Yes, sir. What's up, man? Hey, what's going on? Loading Snacks crew, man. I just want to press the load button because I just love snacks, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of snacks. You know what I'm saying? Especially them summer snacks that, the ladies be pulling up to the cons and the cosplays, and then Lord have mercy.
The snacks have been overwhelming during COVID for sure, bro. The snacks have been very overwhelming. Listen, before we get into this, you got a new Kickstarter that's coming. Before we get into this, first and foremost, just how have you been? It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yes.
Man, I've been good, man. I've been staying safe. I've been, living in my little studio, you know what I'm saying? Like Monday through Friday, drawing Alchemist #5, writing a whole bunch of comics. I mean, we got so much dope content, man. Like I was like, yo, if I'm not gonna be able to do any cons 2020, I'm gonna devote every moment I can to create something. No excuses, and that's
Perfect.
what I've been doing. So I'm good, man. I appreciate it.
Nice.
Perfect. So now I have to imagine in some way, out of that, 5 days a week, 24/7 on the grind, comic creating, what have you, is that where we get ourselves into the situation where there's a new Kickstarter upon us?
Yeah, man. So this new joint is really interesting because, personally, I thought I was going to bring y'all another issue of Alchemist, or I was going to complete Alchemist the arc, but another book within our wheelhouse just finished. It's called Joystick Angels. It's a really dope YA space opera sci-fi comic book that's centered around 5 young black space pilots who basically kind of patrol the universe looking for this evil, alien empire that destroyed Earth. And it's really cool because it's kind of done in that vein of like 80s and 90s style, like video games, the shoot 'em up kind, like Darius Twins, Star Fox. If you like that type of shit, then you're gonna love this comic because that's how it's built. You know what I'm saying? Like that same inspiration. And it also comes with a soundtrack, a custom OST for it.
Wow,
That's nice.
So now tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did that come to be?
So it's pretty dope, man. Like, my brother, who a lot of y'all have met, you probably met him at either BlurredCon or Baltimore Comic Con in the past. He's usually helping me out at the booth. He's a musician by trade, so he plays the drums, percussion, tuba, bass. But he also produces and engineers music, you know what I'm saying, for himself and other artists. So he fancies himself a rapper, an MC, a producer, very Kanye, Timberland-ish. That's the lane that he's in. And he's always been a comic book lover. So we were just sitting around, like I've done plenty of album cover artwork for him.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, why don't we do a comic book together? We already been working together. You know what I'm saying? The last Alchemist Kickstarter, he did the music for the intro video. And he also did the music for Dorothy's Gene and Spirit's Destiny. I'm sorry, not Spirit's Destiny, I apologize. Beautiful Soldiers, he did the music for their Kickstarter and their whole thing too. So it just kind of seemed like a real natural thing. And it was, so that's really where it's at, man. Like it's just something a little different. Add a little flavor to it.
About how many? About how many tracks are on the soundtrack?
8 in total. Instrumentals, and it's each instrumental is kind of basically geared towards specific characters in the story. So there's 5 space pilots on the Joystick Angels team, so there's 5 tracks for them. There's a track for the Eukarya, which is the evil aliens parasite empire. What else? There's a track for Libor, the space station they live on. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's tracks for each environment and each character. So as you're reading the comic book, if you put the soundtrack on in your headphones or in the background, it kind of enhances the experience. Yeah. And do y'all remember reading like comics and then also like, having a musical thing or like a follow along tape back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. I mean, Teddy Ruxpin, bro.
You know what I mean? Thinking of.
Old school, but yeah, for sure. I think that's dope, man. To kind of draw that inspiration. Was there something about you know, again, with what 2020 was like for a lot of people, I think that a lot of people did draw on nostalgia. You know, so when you start mentioning things like, you know, a Narc or a Darius twin or something like that, and that kind of being something that seemed to lend inspiration, did you find yourself kind of caught up playing old games or something like that? Where'd you draw the inspiration to kind of to put this together from?
That's a great question, man. I mean, shoot, there's just something so artistic and nostalgic about them old school games. I mean, like now, as a comic creator, as a content creator, I don't even have the time to play video games like I used to. I mean, I used to be like, okay, I'm playing all weekend, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Level beats, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yo, don't reset the console because then you're going to lose your progress.
Don't turn it on. Nope.
Right.
Don't do it. So we were always immersed in the culture of video games. I mean, I got a Super Nintendo when the first came out. I mean, I had an N64 when it first came out, PS1. So, I mean, I stopped right around Xbox 360. That's when I stopped.
Okay.
Buying consoles, playing games. I mean, from time to time, I'll go over to a friend's house and they may have it, but they already know I eventually got to retreat back to my cave and go back to content creating. So
you got to work. Yeah.
So I mean, I did find myself like, yo, man, what was that one level like on Darius Twin, you know what I'm saying, or Gradius 3 or Star Fox? Like, what was the energy of it? Like, the costume designs also kind of inspired the way these characters look in the environment. So it was just a lot of fun, man. Like, it was just pure joy and fun and just like being a kid again, you know?
Yeah, man. So listen, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit. I got a couple of characters that I saw you post. So I see this is Tank. Tell me a little bit about Tank. We're not gonna go through all of them. We're not gonna spoil everything, but tell me a little bit about Tank.
Yeah, Tank is dope, man. So she's basically the so on the team you have 3 girls and 2 guys.
Okay.
Tank is one of the women on the team. She's a young 16-year-old girl. Her full name is Cassandra Middleton, and you know, Tank is her code name. She's essentially like covert ops, you know, tactical strategy, and she's kind of like the intellect of the team, you know what I'm saying? Really smart, beautiful, powerful, and intelligent. And you know, her ship is meant for infiltration. So every team's got like different aspects of it, you know what I'm saying? Like the main leader, Fox, on the team, who's a male, young male, he is like the brash, cocky, like, you know, guy that can basically is headstrong enough to get anybody through any situation. You know, he's like that, very much like a powerful leader. And then you have other people on the team that fulfill other roles. So Tank is dope, man. She kind of rounds everything out. You know what I'm saying? Nice, strong, young, strong woman character.
I dig it. So tell me a little bit about Legs.
Yeah, Legs, fire, man. So Legs is an Afro-Latina queer character. And her full name is Aisha Garcia, and her code name's Legs. So, you know, tiny bit of spoiler alert. You know, her name Legs comes from 2 different things: the fact that she can kind of run circles everybody and, you know, around everybody, and the fact that she eventually needs, you know, bionic legs, you know what I'm saying, in order to continue to function. So she's like the resident tech person on the team. She fixes all the ships, creates all the battle gear, you know what I'm saying? So she's a really fun character that is really represented, you know what I'm saying, properly and, you know, thoughtfully within the series.
I dig that. So let's talk about one of the guys. Tell me a little bit about Dragon Eddie. I feel like I feel like jokes could cosplay this. That's how I feel about it.
I'm down.
Bruh.
Go, man.
I see you with the fur on the collar, man, like ready to go.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, us being, you know, again, being a music lover, being that this is a musical comic, I mean, you know, one of my favorite musical artists in the 90s was Cisco and Drew Hill, you know what I'm saying? Cool. So, you know, Dragon Eddie's kind of like that, you know, kind of like a wink and a nod to Cisco's character, the flamboyant, bright red jacket with the, you know, dark skin, the platinum, you know, silver hair, you know what I'm saying? He was very much a unique character to me as a performer. And, you know, his music was pretty fire when he first came out. So that's where Dragon Eddie's inspiration is. But he's kind of like the guy that loves to dance, that loves music, but he also is like the fastest pilot on the actual Joystick Angels team. So he wins races all the time. Like, he's really proficient as a speedster, which is kind of dope. So that's your boy Dragonetti.
I dig it, man. Yeah, look, I know there are other characters and so forth. I know you dropped another one, I think earlier today, Deuce. But here's what I want to know. I want to know, for something like this, for Joystick Angels, where does obviously you drew inspiration from those older, but like as you're individually coming up with characters, right, and kind of getting these backstories, and how does that all work together for you in terms of creating that, I guess, a team dynamic that works between the characters?
It's a great question, man. You got to be a student of comics. You really got to be a student of what's dope and what's hot, and even how great team comic books were written. I mean, I'm a big Marv Wolfman fan, and I watched a documentary on him years ago where he was talking about how he wrote the Teen Titans, because each character in the Teen Titans kind of has like different personality issues, different quirks, different things that make them feel like a family. They don't just feel like a team and people that barely know each other and come together for a job. Like, they feel like a family, very much like Star Trek Next Generation. When you think about it, it felt like a family. Mm-hmm. Like, these people knew each other. Somebody was dating somebody else, what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it was that level of connection I was looking for when describing, or at least coming up with Joystick Angels. So it's like soup, it's like cooking. Okay, we got our recipe together, we got this character that does this, that character that does that. How do they all fit together? And even if you're thinking about, like, if it's like a military thing, right? Like you have like a sergeant, you got a corporal, you got a man that is at arms, like you got like a tech person, you got a medic, like all these
somebody got to cook.
Somebody got to cook, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really what it is. It's like, how do we come up with like a soup that just has all the components in it? You know what I mean? I dig it. Jokes, do me a favor, man. Put the link up for the Kickstarter. Gotcha. TJ, talk to us about the Kickstarter, the run of time, what we're looking to achieve from the Kickstarter. Talk to me about the Kickstarter itself. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, so Joystick Angels Kickstarter, we're looking to raise $8,000 for printing and production costs, but we also issue 1's already done. I mean, you barely got to wait for the comic. You might have to wait like a month or two tops. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get the comic book fast, because I'm a fan. I like getting my stuff that I back quick. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm doing this. I'll do this for my people, for everybody. So issue 1 is done, but issue 2 is already written. So the artist is kind of waiting for us to make the money with the Kickstarter so we can pay him for number 2. Like, this is like a train, baby. Like, we just want to keep the wheels going.
Yeah.
And we've been getting such a good reaction from folks online. So it's like, man, we just want to keep this thing moving as fast as possible. And that's really what the Kickstarter does. So just to add quickly too, we're going to have t-shirts, we're going to have pins. We're going to have an indie creator tier that has all of my other indie creator friends that you can support as well. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have some other surprise stuff. So hopefully everybody checks it out.
Yeah. Listen, if you are so inclined, and you should be, make sure you go and check out the Kickstarter for Joystick Angels. While you're doing that, Jokes, if you would do me a favor and pop the link. You guys want to make sure you're following RAE Comics on Instagram, on Facebook. That's, outside of, look, we're here to help do something like this, but that's where you really want to go all the time to get the up-to-date information. Feel free to go back and watch this 100 times if you want to.
Please.
But that's where you want to go.
Subscribe to Loading Snacks, man.
Like,
they got the food, baby. This is what it is.
Facts. We do have snacks.
Hey, you already know.
Yeah, y'all make sure you go and you subscribe to the RAE Comics page. Y'all got a YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I reposted your video and like one other person's video.
Yeah,
like, I'm not on YouTube.
That's all good. It's all good.
I'm
Look,
working on it, man. I'm working on it. Like I'm behind the scenes guy, but I'm trying to be more out there. The more I write, the more I do stuff. Like we got to do more talking stuff, right?
Yep.
You know, what I'm saying? You
Yep.
already know.
Absolutely. All right. So for myself, Gage, for the rest of the Loading Snacks crew, that's Sin and Jokes, TJ Sterling. Listen, wish you all the best on this Kickstarter. We already know it's gonna do well. We can tell it's all fire. Y'all make sure y'all go follow TJ, RAE Comics, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And make sure you check out the Kickstarter for Joystick Angels. Toodles and loose.
Amen. Peace, y'all.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.